I just wanna get loose when the beat drops.
Hello YouTubers, Doom143, and I'm back with a comic haul. Got some books here from the past week, eBay, just hunting and stuff like that. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to show those books off. Didn't want to make too long of a video. The past couple videos been kind of long, so just trying to trim it down. All right. Before we get into the haul, let's talk about a couple things going on in this awesome comic book community we have going on right now. You got some contests going on. You got SPT Killerwood, QB Comic Addicts. He's got freaking issues. Davis Comic Find and Mr. Rigor Morris 86 are both collaborating on their 200. You got Drew Manchu and Louie Joel. I'm going to leave links to all of these people, just in case you have not done their contest. Again, it's a great way to support the community. I actually just finished doing 2 of them, and I can't wait to kind of participate in the others. Like I said, it's a great way to support your community. It's very easy, and you know, it's just a great way to show your books and stuff like that. We also got a podcast coming up possibly this Sunday. Myself, Alex Comic Hoarder, fredeez 562, masterxsplinter, Seeking Near Mint Comics. I think we're shooting for Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, you know, these group of guys, they know their stuff. If you're really into hot variants, you know, fredeez is one of those guys, masterxsplinter. You know, if you want to know more of the updated stuff, what's going on right now, Alex the Comic Hoarder, Seeking Near Mints, they're really good people on that. Speculations, you know, all of the guys, we always talk about stuff. And yeah, you know, we don't go too much into what's happening currently in stories as far as, you know, books that came out like this week, unless there's something crazy that's going on, you know, some type of like, I think ASM 25 has like a crazy variant right now, and I think Venom, I think number 5, there's a Crane variant, which is like super crazy right now. Hot variants and stuff. I know myself and fredeez, we wanted to kind of talk about just artists that you can actually get really awesome, great covers on, and it doesn't cost that much. And we also wanted to talk about series. Like if you're really into just like covers and great stories, just a couple of series that you can buy for really cheap. But the covers itself are just phenomenal. So yeah, you know, we got that going on. I think it's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So let's get into the haul. I don't know if you guys remember, but I busted out a book. I think it was a Superman. Is it 153? Action Comics 150. It was an older book, like bronze. I don't think it was a silver. I think it was a bronze book. I have it inside. I have it in my my man shelf, my comic shelf. So the interesting thing about that is that it was the first appearance of Nightwing, which was actually Superman, believe it or not. It's a funny story. I was actually listening to the NY Warriors this past, I think it's Monday. Yeah, this past Monday. They have a great podcast. I think it's every other Monday. So this past Monday, they're talking about the Super Sons. And it just so happened that I actually bought this book. So this is World Finest 215. This is actually the first appearance of the Super Sons. Now, it's not the Damian Wayne, John Kent that we know, but this is the original story when they tried to do the Super Sons. And these are like actually their dads. And so yeah, it's kind of crazy. But believe it or not, this is actually the first appearance of the Super Sons. Again, not the story that we know now, but I thought it was pretty cool. I just bought it. Really nice condition too. I think I only got it for like $15, so not too bad. Myself and the rest of the guys, we were talking about, books to kind of really look out for, spec books and stuff like that. So one of them is this. This is All New Wolverines #2. This is the variant you definitely want to get for All New Wolverines #2. This is the first appearance of Laura Kinney's sister. So, no, we're not calling it a spec play or anything. It's just one of those books that we just think is very interesting to her storyline. And, if she continues doing movies the way she does, I mean, they have to somehow implement, I would assume they would find a way to implement, parts of her family into their movies and stuff. So, yeah, we just picked this up. I think I just picked this up not too long ago. Definitely, the guys I hang around with, talk to, they always know good stuff, so always end up picking their stuff. Master X talked to me about this a while ago. So this is X Factor 17. This is the first appearance of Richter. Hopefully all you guys already watched Logan, so you guys already saw Richter inside of the movie. So this shouldn't be a spoiler. Yeah, I just wanted to pick it up just to own it. I'm one of those guys, if there's something in the movies that I can pick up, on the cheap, I would prefer to buy it, before the hype goes up, because then that way the book doesn't cost as much. You can get it for $1 or $2. But sometimes I'll have a tendency to buy books when the hype is already there. So I'll just try to find something, in a really good condition, but where the price is not too much, because I know eventually this book is probably just going to go back down unless they find a way to implement him into either New Mutants or the X Factor that's coming up. But it's way down the road, and it's too early to even kind of spec on any of that stuff. But just one of those interesting books to own. X Factor #17, first appearance of Richter. I am a huge Sienkiewicz fan, so I am glad. I actually got 2 more of these coming in, but I am so glad to own these Sienkiewicz books because, this is one of them. Death of Hawkman #6. This book was hot for a minute. I'm not too sure where it's at right now. I swear the day it came out, it already shot to like $15, and it wasn't a variant. It's just like a cover B, and yeah, it was a $4 book if you could find it, but no one could find it. I think the great thing about this one is that, one, it's part of a title that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, so a lot of times down the road, like, these books end up costing like a lot more, just because it's one of those that people will be like, oh, do you remember the Death of Hawkman 6 that Sienkiewicz did? And then you go on eBay, and then it's a sick cover. It's a very sick cover, but then at the same time, people forget about it, or the print run wasn't that big. So it's definitely one of those books that I was actually looking for it about a week or two before it came out, like on the in the LCS, but it was already sold out online. It was already sold out. So my next attempt was to go to my LCSs and try to find it. Nothing, like zero, like nothing. And so that was a little difficult. So I found some. I actually found some on Comic Exposure for cover price. And I totally forgot I bought those for cover price. Like, I totally forgot I bought 2 for cover price. And then I found this one for like $11, so I picked it up. So yeah, I'm gonna have 3 of them, 2 for cover, and then this one for 11. So I guess it's okay. It's definitely a keeper, man. Especially if you're into cover collecting, and if you're a huge Bill Sienkiewicz fan. Excuse me. Speaking of Bill Sienkiewicz, super stoked to own this one. This is a Sienkiewicz book I've been wanting to own for a while. I had a hard time finding it. Like, I could not find this thing. I was trying to track it down in the wild, just couldn't find it. I'm not too sure the print run on these, but it must not be that big, because I just could not find these anywhere in the wild. And so I've been wanting this Sienkiewicz for a while. Batman and I don't even know. It's too early right now. But this is just another great Sienkiewicz book that was done, and it reminds me a lot of the Batman Cacophony that was done. And so I had to pick this one up. Super, 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 super happy to have this. I found this at one of my LCSs. Just picked it up. I didn't even bother to pick it up before, but I saw it. Yeah, I was like, I'll pick it up. It was only cover price. This is Captain Marvel. This is one of those Juiceco covers that's done. One of my more favorite Juiceco covers. So now I think I own like 3 or 4 of them. At first I was like, I'm not going to pick them up. But I ended up picking up the Venom. And then I picked up, I don't know what else I picked up. These are just cool books to have. Really great covers, by the way. Just excellently done. I really wish they didn't do this black lines. I mean, it does add a border to it, so it kind of gives it that unique look. But I think if this whole thing right here was just a cover, I think that would have been sick, you know. A virgin cover of this would have been really nice. But it is what it is. $3. I wouldn't pay any more than 5 if you find it. This one I gotta dedicate to Triple C because I've been wanting this book for a while, man. And I found 2 of them for like $20 a pop, so I picked them up quick. So this is so that's one, and then this is the second one here. I picked up 2 of them for $20 a pop, but this is just a gorgeous. I don't want to screw up the name. I think it's like Lionel Yu, Francis Lionel Yu, and I remember the first time Triple C showed this book, and I was just beside myself. Like, I wanted that book so bad, and yeah, oh man, it was such a crazy book that the first time the thing about, if you guys know Triple C, sorry, I start stuttering when I talk about Triple C because the guy has such a freaking phenomenal collection. It's just like, it's crazy. I'll leave a link to Triple C if you guys have not, I don't know, for whatever reason you're not sub to Triple C. If you don't know him, I'll leave a link as well for Triple C. But man, that guy has such a phenomenal collection, especially when it comes to like variants and just hot books. Like, this is how crazy his collection is. I showed off my X23 Delato, X23 number 1 Delato variant, and I was just so happy the fact that I bought that book and I owned the book. Triple C hits me up and goes, "Hey man, I didn't know you wanted that book. I have 2 of them." I'm like, oh, if I knew he had 2, I definitely would have. I would rather buy books from people in the community because I feel like our prices are better, you know, because like we're friends, right? So we're not going to try to rip each other off or anything. You know, we're going to try to meet somewhere where we're both happy. And yeah, I wish I knew he had 2. I definitely would have bought one off of him, because then I just feel like the money stays within the community, and instead of me going to eBay or going to like a con or something like that. But yeah, man. Anyway, getting back to this book, when he showed this book the first time, I just absolutely fell in love with it. So this is Captain Marvel number 1, Francis Lionel Yu variant, and like I said, I picked up 2 of them. I had to have them, man. So I have a 7-year-old, and because I have a 7-year-old, we have a tendency to go to like the Lego store quite a bit. So I was looking at one of the Lego sets, and one of the Lego sets, they showed like all these little characters, and then on the bottom it said Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2. One of the characters I saw was Taserface, and I didn't know much about Taserface or anything about it. So I just went on Wikipedia and I found out that his first appearance was actually Guardian of the Galaxy number 1. This book is from, I want to say 1990. So of course this is not the Guardian of the Galaxy that we know as far as like the movies. I think their first appearance, the ones that we know, is in like an Annihilation, like 4 or 8 or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so I saw the Lego set and I saw Taserface, and I was like, oh, who's this? Because we've seen all the previews and stuff like that, and trailers and whatnot, and I didn't see anything about no Taserface. So I saw that, and I was like, you know what, I'll pick it up. So this is like Guardian of the Galaxy number 1, first appearance of Taserface, and I'm actually want to read this book. I just want to see what this Guardian of the Galaxy people are kind of like. Again, on the podcast, Hopefully this comes out okay. It's in a top loader, so sometimes it comes out a little blurry. But again, on the podcast, so Nightwing's coming out with his own movie. And what we're talking about is the fact that Nightwing could potentially lead to Teen Titans. And a lot of people say no, because once you have Nightwing, that means he's not a teenager anymore. But his first appearance, well, what we're calling his first appearance is Teen Titans 44. So that's still in Teen Titans. So I don't know. There's always a way they'll figure out to work around it, whatever, if it does happen. But we were talking about the fact that Nightwing has a love interest with what is that, Batwoman and Starfire. But he was also reminding me about Birds of Prey number 8. So I went into another LCS, and this is a beautiful Greg Land cover, by the way. Birds of Prey number 8, and this is basically the infamous date/kiss comic, and I guess he had a $200 price tag on this thing, and I was like, it was the book was so high up on the wall that I thought it said 20. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good price, $20. But when he brought it down, it said 200. And so I looked at him, I'm like, $200 for this? I'm like, maybe a 9.8 CGC, yeah, but not a raw copy. And he goes, oh yeah, I haven't repriced these books in a while. He goes, oh, let me see what is sold on eBay. And so he's looking up eBay sold prices, and I think it was like $60 or something. So he's all like, yeah, I'll give it to you for like 50. But he ended up giving me a better discount because I bought some other books. So it was like $50 plus more discount. So I actually got I didn't get it cheap. I got it for basically what it kind of goes for, I think, in the raw. People will ask for 60. People ask for 50. But yeah, definitely something to add to my collection and stuff like that. So stoked to have that. And the last book is a book I'm super stoked to own. So this is part of the Messiah Complex. This is X-Men 205, the J. Scott Campbell variant. This is the first appearance of Hope Summers. Now, if you guys did watch Logan, and if you didn't, sorry, I might spoil it a little bit. I'm not really spoiling the movie, but I might be spoiling what happened before the movie. So they had like this little Deadpool, it's not even a trailer, I forget what they call it, but like this little Deadpool thing kind of promoting Deadpool 2 coming out. Now there's a bunch of Easter eggs in that little thing. They had like Superman, they had the Logan movie, blah blah blah, they had a lot of stuff. Well, one of the Easter eggs was that in 2 different places there was the word hope, and I think one was a telephone booth and one was like on the back wall while he was running out of the telephone booth. And so it had hope. So one of the things that people were saying is that it could mean Hope Summers might have something to do with the Deadpool 2 movie coming out. And I guess one of the ideas was that maybe, and again, this is, take all of this with like a grain of salt, man. Like seriously, with a grain of salt. Do it what you want with the information that I give you, but just know that I know absolutely nothing of what's going to happen. I just know possible speculations if you're into that stuff. And so there was a word hope in the back, and they're saying that what maybe the storyline could be Cable has hope. So if you've seen some of the old comic books, you see Cable with like a little baby on him on the front. Well, that's Hope Summers. And so, he might be running away from people like Nimrod and stuff like that. And that's how, he's traveling to different times. And that's how he ends up meeting, Deadpool. So that's, it's a possible story, which would be hilarious because, like if there's a baby in the front, like they'll do something with like, they're going to spoof off like The Hangover or something like that if they do something like that. But yeah, so this is X-Men 205, first appearance of Hope Summers. This is definitely the variant you want to own if you're into variants. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant. All right, guys. I tried to make this a short video. Next thing you know, I'm on 20 minutes. All right, guys. That's pretty much about it. Yeah, have a good one. And, you know, today is New Comic Book Wednesday. So, you know, hope you guys get what you guys trying to look for. All right, guys. Everybody, shoots and mahalos.